Hey YouTube, it's Tanya, Vsg Your Baby Blondie. I am back. Just wanting to talk to you about the differences of my doctors. I went and saw my regular doctor today, which I see him about every 3 months. Well, I used to go in there for, like high blood pressure and stuff like that, but thankfully I have not had to take one high blood pressure pill since the day that I left the hospital. My blood pressure was 110/70, absolutely perfect. So if I took a blood pressure pill right now, I would bottom out. That's what they tell me. So and of course my pulse, it stays in the 50s and 60s, so I don't know, I think that's kind of low, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, they think everything looks good. But now my question is, and me and my doctor talked about this, my regular physician, not my surgeon, my regular physician that I went to today, we talked about this same exact issue probably a month when I was out of surgery, after I was about a month out. And of course, I had the sleep done. I was about a month out. I wasn't even able to drive at the time, so it may not even been that far out, but anyway. And he was telling me about this. His father had the same exact surgery. And of course, this man, I've been going to him for years and years. And when I say years, I'm talking 15, 20 years, I guess. Me and my family for different reasons. But so anyway, he's like, Tanya, he said, I've been around medicine. Let me see if I can change this lighting up a little bit. He said, I've been around medicine for a long time. And I said, I understand that. I respect him and what he has to say. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of that light. But, so I respect the things that he has to say. And I respect him as a doctor. If I didn't, I wouldn't be using him for this long. And, of course, he told me then pretty much what he told me today, and which has got me on a thinking bench here just a little bit. But he said his father had this surgery. He said he doesn't understand why they're really even doing the sleeve. He doesn't really agree with the sleeve. He, if you're going to do something, he would think that, to him, you might as well go ahead and I guess, do the R and Y. He didn't say that or whatever, but he doesn't agree with the sleeve because he said that his dad had it done, and of course they told him probably the same thing that your doctor has told y'all, which is what my surgeon has told me. You're supposed to eat small meals, 5 to 7 meals a day is what mine says. And you want to eat small bites, and you want to chew them up real well. You want to take your time eating. Try to make your meal last 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, Even if it's 5 bites, 6 bites, 7 bites, whatever, however many bites it is, try to make it last, that long. And of course, don't eat and drink at the same time. So, the thing he does not agree with is the part that you eat 5 to 7 meals a day. Now, he said, and the reason why that is because, they take your stomach out and your pouch is a certain size. He said, and then you go in there and you eat a little bit, and then they tell you wait a little bit, and then go eat a little bit more, and then wait a little bit, and then go eat a little bit more, So basically, that's what you're doing all day over so many hours, by doing that, in his opinion, you're stretching your stomach. Versus if you would just eat 3 meals, but still eat in the smaller fashion, you know. But of course, he's all about protein now. He is all about protein, and he is totally against the carbs. You know, he's, you know, if you make it all about protein, get your protein in those meals, you know, stay away from sugar, stay away from bread, then, you know, your pouch won't stretch. He said, you know, the stretching part comes in when you eat that many times a day. Now, a normal American that's out on a diet that is, you know, dieting or whatever, kind of like, let's say, Chris Powell, and I love his show, you know, they recommend that they eat so many times a day, you know, but of course they're eating normal amounts of food. They're just eating different kinds of food, you know, and in smaller quantities, you know. So, but being that we don't have that normal stomach, my doctor tends to believe that that's what makes that stomach stretch. And he said his dad had the surgery, and he was no bigger around, within no time, he was no bigger around than a pencil. He said, but, you know, people, they do start to gain their weight back after about a year, and which is what we've all heard. And he said that, you start to slow down, which is what we've all heard. And that's because your stomach has already stretched to some degree. And we call it a stall. I still believe that it's still a stall. But I do believe that our stomach has stretched some already, because if it had not, then we would not be able to eat more today, 4 months out, than we could eat the day that we got out of the hospital. I mean, you know, granted, you're doing the fluids and stuff like that because, you know, you don't want to hurt your sleep, you want it to heal and stuff like that, but you know, we all know the further out you get, the more you can actually eat. That's a given. We all know that. So that right there tells all of us that yes, it does stretch to some degree. Okay. So do I believe that it stretches? Yes. Do I believe that it will stretch to the point that it was to the size that it was before? No. I don't think it'll ever be that size again, but will it get bigger? Yes, it will. And in return, we have to work harder to keep it off and to keep it down. So, so basically, that is the two differences that I'm kind of stuck between, because, you know, he was like, you know, after a couple of years, 3 or 4, you know, he said his dad, he still couldn't eat but so much, you know, but because he ate the 4 or 5 meals a day, whatever, because he ate that many times, and every time he went back, it would just make it stretch a little bit more, because it still had food in there and it wasn't completely digested or all the way down. It takes time, you know, especially protein. Protein is your longest digestible food out there. But so, you know, what do you do with a piece of information like that? Do I go to 3 times a day? Half the time I forget to eat anyway. I have to remind myself to eat as it is. That's hard enough chore, you know, when you're busy and you work the type of lifestyle that I do. So half the time when I take count one of those itty bitty meals, it might be a bite or two or a couple of peanuts, you know. So I don't know. But he says today his dad is the same size, if not bigger, than the day that he went in for surgery. And of course his dad is still alive, and he had the sleeve. So they're talking straight off hand, straight off of experience, and of course this is a medical professional man as well. So I don't know, what do you do? Do you go to 3 meals a day? Do you stay with the 5 or whatever? I guess I got my own opinion on that. And of course with him, I do agree with the part that the biggest thing is stay away from your carbs, y'all. It's going to be harder for us to keep this mess going. It's going to be so much harder for us to keep this weight off of us. And later, after a year, we're really going to be busting a tail, because our body's going to want to hang on to everything that we have. And I know that because my surgeon has told me that. That didn't come from my physician. After a year, your body gets used to, this is from the surgeon, after a year the body gets used to what the body is taking in, and it's saying, oh wow, okay, so this is all I'm getting. So in other words, then it's going to try to hang on to everything that comes in. So losing weight after a year, they say, is really, really, really hard, and absolutely for the most serious out there to be able to continue it after a year. But anyway, so 155, size 8, size 5 1/4. Hey. But so anyway, I'm loving it. I'm loving my sleep right now. Yes, I cannot eat very much and I get full. A lot of times I just drink and I'm full. It's hard for me to get in my water. Gosh, it seemed easier when it was warmer, but now that it's colder and I stay cold, it's even harder, but so is the sleeve a daily battle? Yeah, I mean, it really is. Anybody that has it knows that, it's not the easy way out, and it is a hard road to hoe, but anyway, it's going on 13 minutes, and I just wish you all a good week. Any comments y'all would like to leave below, I'd love to hear from you. See you later. Bye.